Hello, hello.
Hey girl, hey. We're back.
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna
Yeah.
be kind of mellow today. 'Cause, like I have to match energy, and I can't be all types of rah rah, and you just be
I'm
an lack
doing
of
my
energy
I'm doing
person.
my best, sis. I'm doing my best.
I mean, but how you doing? Because last voice note that I got, you were struggling.
Yes, that is not inaccurate. However, I will give my best for the peoples.
You don't give your best. Okay.
Yes.
So, on today's episode of Seattleites in the South, we are going to rock the boat a bit, I think. So we will be discussing marriage, children, and where we are now with those topics. So I've prepared questions so that we can just, stay on task because we be drifting a little bit. We be drifting, and that's
You know,
okay. And if y'all wonder what I'm
funny.
doing, I am trying to post. What
You
you
know
gotta
what's
say,
funny?
girl?
Because
What?
literally, that's what I was talking about today in one of my group chats. Was this, and it just came up.
Merging kids.
Yeah, or the lack thereof.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna get into it though. But before
Yes,
we get into it, how are you otherwise, other than you struggling over there
right. I'm gonna get
existing?
my electrolyte. No, I'm Gucci, Louis Prada. I cannot complain. Thanks again, y'all, for tuning in to us. Remember, like, subscribe, comment to Satellites in the South on all social media. I am blessed and highly favored. Work is slowing down for like a week and then picks up again. There was some work drama, so I'll have to catch you up on that
Ooh,
on the
very
offline.
good.
Yeah, girl,
Off the record.
it done got to HR, girl. So I was like,
Ooh.
ooh, and it wasn't me this time. So damn, that felt great.
One day we'll talk about our struggles in work.
Child and corporate America and all that good stuff. But
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
I will say that I've been good. I hit my 1 year and I actually had some work done this morning, and I have a couple more tickets I have to put in. But life is good. I cannot complain. I was happy to come back and see my little pup after being gone for work this week. But yeah, what about
Oh, niece daughter.
I know. I feel like we haven't talked in a long periodical time since I was working
I
this week.
know. We have like an unnatural like obsession with each other. We have like
It,
separation
it-
anxiety, which is weird because like
we don't live in the same
we're
state.
never,
But
whenever
it's
you're
like,
unavailable, it's just
no, yeah. Like literally when you're on the phone the other day and I called twice, I was like, what are you doing? Like, who could you be on the phone with? I was so put aback. Like, because I had no idea you were on the phone. Like, I was like, she's dead. She's dead in a ditch. I have to go save her. Why is she not answering the phone? But you were on the phone.
you literally have my location. You could have just saw that I was at home.
That don't mean you're not dead. Think about it.
Anywho, so I am at home being just a married single mother and just no, but I'm struggling. This is the first Valentine's Day that me and my wife have not been together physically since we met. So, tear.
That's such a sad day. Oh my god, I'm so
It
sorry.
was, and I was very upset. I was very upset.
I'm
And
so
I'm just
sorry.
like,
That
Just being a
sucks.
brat. It's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
Other than that, I mean, my clients are still stressing me out, but that's normal.
That's
Um,
that's normal.
I have to get up real early in the morning and drive some far away place, and I don't like that, but it must be done.
Yeah.
But other than that, my dog is experienced separation depression. He doesn't get separation anxiety. When either one of us is not around, he just gets super sad. So he's gonna be very excited
Oh.
next week. So
Oh, that'll be good.
yeah.
Yeah, my niece puppy does not eat. I sent her to her uncle's house, and she likes being at her uncle's house, but she just doesn't eat.
She's
So
like, first of
literally,
all,
she
I'm
sent me
not
a
at
video
home.
of spoon feeding her, and I was like, "Are you spoon feeding her?" She was just like, "Yes," and I was just like, "Thank you."
I can't. So
No,
dramatic.
so dramatic, but I
Oh,
appreciate that because I would do the
OMG.
same.
All right. Let's get into this pre-funk so we can get
Ooh,
into the body yaddy yaddy, because I think the body yaddy yaddy is I'm interested in your answers, and I'm interested in my answers. I'm like, you know what? Let's just let the brain do what it does. Just
I
go with it.
know.
Try new
I
things. New year, new me. All right,
know.
I still don't got music, so y'all just gonna have to just suffer through it. It's okay.
I'm crying.
Anyway, I know, right? We need to get like someone to make us a real beat, because like this music that they got on the internet is just
It's not hitting. It's
it's
not hitting.
not it's not the vibes. It's not the vibes.
It's not
So
there.
let me just put this out there. So as you subscribe to our channel, so you won't ever be disconnected from us ever, and click the notification bell so that you'll always know when we come live. Because you know what? We set this schedule, but we can do whatever the fuck we want. So there's that. Um, Also, like the video, leave us some comments so we can interact. And yeah, what you got for the pre-funk, girl? Because I think I just got some.
Oh my god. I have an "Am I the Asshole,"
Oh,
which
okay.
would
Let's do yours.
which relates to what we're talking about today.
Oh, okay. Okay. What you got? What you got?
Okay, it's kind of a long one. Stick with me.
Oh,
Am I the
lawful.
ass? Am I the asshole for going on a hiking trip with my pregnant wife? Over the weekend, my wife and I went on a hiking trip with some friends. We've always been an active couple, but it kind of seems like my wife, who's 6 months pregnant, has sort of turned into a couch potato in recent weeks. It's
It's
caused
probably
her to
because she's making a whole baby, but okay.
it's caused her to gain a bit of weight
Probably.
and become moody. So I figured some exercise would be good for her and I. Well,
You
I
know what's
thought I
crazy? Before you
would.
continue, why is he just describing pregnancy? Why is he just describing the symptoms of pregnancy and like I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I
know
don't
what's
know what's
going on with
wrong. I
her.
don't know what's going
She's
on.
gaining weight. She's
She's
like not
moody.
moving around as much.
She's on the
She has mood swings.
couch.
I wonder why.
She's
I wonder
building a
why your
baby.
pregnant wife has made
Build,
these sudden changes.
building a baby. So I thought I picked a pretty easy hike. It's a trail that's close to our house, not long, 3 miles out and 3 miles back. She's done it before, so it couldn't have been too much of a surprise. We're
Was
about
she
one
pregnant
third.
in this trimester when she was walking the 6 mile round trip?
Well, we're about a third of the way done. My wife started huffing and puffing. My friend slowed down to accommodate her, so I did the same. After a half of a mile of the huffing and puffing, my wife looked pretty bad. She got really pale, was hunched over on one side of the trail. I was sort of shocked to see her in this state. She had let herself go recently, but I didn't think she would lose her fitness this quickly. Can we say delusional, class?
First of
Delusional.
all, she didn't even lose anything. She gained a fetus. I don't know what's not clicking. I don't.
But it gets worse. However,
Oh,
A few minutes later, she actually started to throw up, and it was at this point we decided to head back. I'm fully aware that she's going to deliver a baby in 3 months, your baby, but I can't help but think that she wouldn't have embarrassed me in front of my friends if she had kept up her exercise routine. We both ate the same food for breakfast, and I never got sick, so that wouldn't be it either. We got back to the parking lot, and I apologized to my friends for my wife's behavior. I thought I was out of earshot, but apparently my wife heard the whole thing. I get back in the car, she went nuts. She told me I was an idiot for thinking she could keep up at our normal pace, and I was a grade A asshole for insinuating that my wife had thrown up on purpose. I listened to her rant to me before politely asking if she thought she would have felt so sick if she hadn't been a couch potato recently. She refused to engage with me at all. I wanted it to dawn on her that she was at least partially to blame for this, but she refused to take any responsibility. This happened on Saturday, and even today has been really tense. It's as if she's holding a grudge against me, and I don't know how to get her to stop. She's really making me sad with this horrible treatment. Am I the asshole? When he started out the thread with "Am I asshole for taking my pregnant wife hiking?" I was gagged. I was like, "There's no way you took a pregnant woman hiking."
I
Then
I always find that when men write these posts, they never ask the right question. Because the question isn't, are you an asshole for taking your pregnant wife on a hike? There are pregnant women that hike. She could have asked you. We didn't fucking know. But to get through to all that and you think that just taking her on the hike was the bad idea and not the way that you treated her or your fucking stupid ass unrealistic expectations of a pregnant person. I mean, I feel like we're worried about the wrong things.
wrong things. Wrong things. I would say homie's an asshole, a grade A asshole, as his wife described. Because why would you think this woman who's 6 months pregnant is purposefully throwing up to get out of a hike, and she should have kept up her exercise routine when she's building your baby?
From scratch.
It's not some random baby, it's yours. You expected her to look the same, feel the same, have the same energy all 9-10 months? Every step of the way? She's going to do the same exact things when she's building a baby? Building a human? Get the fuck out of here. I would have pushed him off the cliff. I would have done it.
Every week. Every week I just fail to beat the I hate men allegations. Every week I fail. Because y'all motherfuckers are insufferable.
I don't know how he feels that.
And I feel really, really bad for heterosexual women. I am so sorry y'all gotta deal with that bullshit. I am so sorry.
But what you got? You said
Girl,
you had
some mess.
Of course. Of course you did.
So, picture it. America, 2009. Listen, so let me. So y'all remember, like around 2009 to 2011 ish, there was this Caucasian woman cosplaying as a Black woman leading the Spokane, Washington chapter of the NAACP. She was walking around with a horrible tan and a horrible half wig. And she was like, I am a Black woman. Yes, my brothers and sisters. And then we come to find out she was born a blonde hair, blue eyed white woman.
Yes.
Y'all remember her? Remember Rachel Dolezal? Well, Honey, the tea is, if y'all haven't gotten into this, y'all need to get into this. This woman changed her name and has been teaching, educating churn. But listen to, I'm so glad we got a better wig. I love the lace front. I love that for you. Love the bold hold. Y'all gotta get into this headline. Teacher formerly known as Rachel Dolezal loses job over OnlyFans account. Dolezal, a white woman who identified as Black for years and later changed her name to Nkechi Diallo, fired in Arizona.
Dang, she had to move out of Washington.
This white woman changed her name to this?
What does that even mean?
Girl, she don't know.
I'm crying.
So, in summation, if you would like to go to The Guardian and finish reading this article, go ahead. I'm going to hit y'all with this. The Arizona-based educator, formerly known as Rachel Dolezal, has been ousted from her position in a local school district due to content posted on her OnlyFans account. Let me see if this at the end reference what I wanted to bring forth. They
Fun fact: I looked up the name. It's a Nigerian name meaning gift of God.
Girl, she. How dare you disrespect my ancestors?
Because
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Who does that?
So The Guardian doesn't mention it, but if you're around the Twitter or TikTok or Instagram streets, you know that not only was she posting content on OnlyFans, but she's a grown woman. She can do that. Not only was she posting on OnlyFans, but she was doing play. If y'all don't know what RACE play is, Google at your leisure. Basically, you know what she out here doing. If you don't know what this woman is out here doing on OnlyFans, who's been cosplaying as a Black woman for at least a decade and a half to 2 decades, she on OnlyFans doing race play in the good year of 2024, and we don't have to wonder what she out there doing. And to them Black men, I hope it's worth it, player. I hope the money you paid her is worth it. Go ahead, girl. You got some confusions on your face. Go ahead.
I'm not one to kink shame.
We kink shame that.
Yeah, we're kink shaming that. Like,
especially in that direction, because that's not even a kink. You just cosplaying as your ancestors at this point. That is not a kink.
Right.
That's like, not a kink.
Like, not only did you cosplay a Black woman, now you're getting off on it, but the other way around with Black men. I don't have some.
Because she made enough money. We don't have to talk or discuss about it, but let it marinate in your cranium. What kind of race play could a white woman cosplaying as a Black woman do? Do you what customer base do you think that's going to appeal to? Because it's not white men, it's not white women, it's not it's not. I mean, I'm gonna open it up, and I might be a little controversial. I'm gonna say all men of color.
I don't think Latin men would like that. I think it's specific to Black men.
Latin's not a race.
Well,
and it's not specific to Black men because Indian men are the same way when it comes specifically with white women. Now, East Asians, no, not really.
Yeah, I don't see it with Asian men, Hispanic men.
And I'm
or
gonna just
like
say it too, indigenous men.
I don't see it with them.
Okay.
I don't. I mean,
You
again,
have
I'm
to understand I'm talking about a certain type of colonized man that has internalized racism. Not just all of them. The ones that have the internalized racism. There just tends to be more black men in that category than other non-white
yeah,
men.
yeah.
Non-white,
That's
non-black
true.
people, I mean persons, men. Y'all
You know,
non-whites and non-blacks. Shit.
you know, you know, you know.
Like y'all know what the hell I'm saying.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, girl. You trying to get into this conversation?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Are you ready? Ready for
Yeah.
the money yaddy? Money
Yeah.
yaddy? Ready for the money yaddy? Money
Ooh,
yaddy? Hey.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right. So, hold on, I gotta cough. This first question I'm gonna ask at the end, but I'm gonna ask it at the beginning as well.
Okay.
All right. First question. Deep, thought provoking. How does it feel to be single and or childless in your early to mid 30s? We're both going to answer these questions and they're going to be on the screen. So if you're going to type in the comments or, want to chit chat about it on TikTok or Instagram, which is also Seattleites in the South, you can let us know your answers. But I wanted to ask this question because we're in our early to mid 30s. We ain't got no kids. You're single. I'm married, however, comma, in greater society, my marriage doesn't count.
Damn.
So I just wanted to check in with you and see how you feel about that. I mean, society tells us we should be like crying and like sliding down walls and like pack it up because the rest of our lives are over. Like, how do you feel about that?
Right. Right. Well, I will say this. My view has probably changed, but not drastically. So I think before, when I was re-listening to it, I was still on the pretense of like kids, and I think you would point it out even in that episode, maybe it was a different one, that it's not that I don't necessarily want them, it's just that I wasn't in a position that it seemed like realistic. Or so I forgot what you said exactly, but it was to the notion
I think it
of
was something to the effect of like, I think at that point, I think my views have changed to be more aligned with yours. So
yeah.
you were kind of like looking at marriage like, I don't know if that's something that I want to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, you know
And
what I'm
I was
saying?
like, if the right like circumstances were there where all your needs were being met financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, and all that, you have a supportive partner, like of course you would be a mom. You were like, well, yeah. And then the time passed and here we land.
Here
So
we land.
let's just get right into the nitty-gritty. We can answer that
Yeah,
question more fully after we go through the other questions because then it'll make
yeah,
more sense.
yes,
So,
yeah,
first
yeah.
question. How have your views on singleness changed?
So I would say, I'll start with this one. I would say my views themselves have not changed. I mean, I like being single. I have no problem being single. I am very comfortable with my singleness, and I still stand on whoever I'm with is only in competition with me and me not wanting to be single no more, whatever that might be. Now, one thing I will say has changed is I have become more open to different paths of not being single. So looking at like meetup groups or like young singles in the area who do like mixers and things like that. I am more open to exploring those options of meeting people. Whereas before, I probably would have just stayed on the apps and like only done that. or even finding a matchmaker if, the funds are funding for me to be able to do that. So being single to me is lit. You know me. I have never been one who's like, I've got to have somebody in my life. I've got to be tied down. I don't. I love stretching out on my bed. I still like not having to consider other people's feelings, although I feel like I could if I had to. But because that was the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. People like be like, oh, you just trying to be a player. No, you have to consider other people's thoughts and stuff and your own thoughts. Nigga, I don't even know my own thoughts. So I'm just like, so I feel like, yes, my actual like being single, not changed. But to lead me into a path of not being single, that has changed.
Mhm.
I don't know if did you
I
talk about your
think
singleness?
what?
Did you talk about your singleness last song? I forgot.
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know, girl.
Oh, well, go ahead with your thought.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like obviously I'm the married one, but my marriage doesn't count because it's not a man, so it's not valid to some people. Um, but I think I've always been a romantic. And I think I used to believe that everyone was supposed to be coupled in some way. Now, I never thought that monogamy was the only way, but I just thought, like, unless you're asexual, like, you just couple. And I think now singleness to me is peace because you don't have to consider anybody but yourself. Considering other people is a lot of fucking work. And we're going to get into it with these other questions, but some of y'all don't really understand what relationships are. So, yeah, I think to me now no, I can't say that, but I think that's a different conversation for a different day. I was going to say I understand why all the black women in church are single, but that's just because they ain't get married because these Negroes ain't marrying nobody and they ain't dating outside their race. That's a different conversation for a different day.
Oh, wow.
Anywho,
Wow, 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 wow.
how have your views on being single in your 30s changed?
I think this one, probably shifted the most. Because again, like I was big on timelines, deadlines, all the lines. And so like I was one of the ones who wanted to be married by 25, kids by 30. And then I
Girl.
got to 25 and I got to 30 and I was just like, shit. Honestly, first of all, let me say, for anyone who's listening now or will listen later, your 30s are lit. I know they say find yourself and make all the mistakes, and then you can settle down when you're 30. You really don't even have to do that, to be honest. Like, you really don't even have to do that.
I mean,
That's the
unless
thing.
you're sold on like, I mean, hell, yeah. I'm
You
saying this,
really
and
don't.
it doesn't feel like old.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It
You know
still
what
feels like
I'm
I'm a
saying?
teenager and I'm irresponsible and I really should be given responsibilities, but because society says at this age I should have them, we have them.
We just
But
do that.
like your 30s is literally your 20s. And I don't know if it's because we're just staying, younger for longer mentally, or we all just got mental illness and we just go on with God. I don't know what,
I don't know.
but
I,
I, I don't feel old. I thought when you hit 30, you would just feel old. But like
automatically.
literally, like if you even live to like what, 70, right? That's like 40 more years. That's 10 more years than you've ever lived before. So like relax, you know?
Calm down. And as it
Like I
stands,
feel like
that's the new retirement age. So you really ain't living life till 70. If we're
right.
going
And
off of
so
that.
it's like we're supposed to fear being single in our 30s. And I feel like, honestly, even though it's not what I did, the longer you wait to get married and have kids, the better off your marriage and children will be. Just the level of maturity, and we're gonna talk about you and y'all and y'all's kids. But the level
Maturity,
of maturity
patience.
that you have, I'm not like I'm still young, but like I have 33 years of experience. So
Damn, I was about
I
to say,
know
I forgot.
something, but I'm still living life, you know?
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like I think being single in your 30s is not, first of all, it's not the end of the world. Secondly, this was another conversation I had with some friends. I have so many really good relationships outside of romantic ones, and my longest ones have all been platonic with friends. To whereas singleness, I don't feel single. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Like
you're
I don't feel.
missing anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't. I
think
don't
that
feel like I'm
I
missing
try
anything.
to couple with people, one, just because it's what you're supposed to do, but also to not feel lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, one, loneliness is a feeling, and you getting into a relationship is not going to change your feelings. But two, your romantic partner cannot fill your cup or your emotional baskets. Think of it as a big basket with little miniature baskets in it, right? Your partner has one basket. Whether you're single or coupled or married or whatever, those other baskets still need to be filled. So if you're concerned about the entire picture of your life, being single is really not that important. You're gonna say, well, you're married, you can say that. Yeah, but like honestly, if we didn't work out, or God forbid she kill over tomorrow, I don't know if I could do it, bro. I don't know
I
if I could
don't
do it
blame you.
again.
I
The
don't blame
amount of work it takes to be in a marriage and to stay together and to have that be healthy and not just be married on paper living in the same house.
you. Child, I don't
But then
blame
on top
you.
of that, being ethically non-monogamous, the level of communication,
Y'all be talking a
transparency,
lot.
vulnerability,
Y'all be talking a lot. That's too
and y'all
much.
be doing this just because, oh, he's cute and I'm getting old. You gotta live 40 to 60 more years. Do you want to do that with this motherfucker? If the answer is no, stop complaining about being single. If you are single and haven't found the one, it's because you have not found the one.
That's it. That's it.
Like that means the every no is leading to your yes. That's something I don't get about women specifically. We make it a moral failing to not be in a relationship.
Yeah.
That says something about who we are as a person, that you're not coupled. Yet the reason you're not coupled is either A, you have not found a mate that's compatible, or B,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you did something to fuck it up. If it's column A and no one is meeting your requirements, no matter how realistic or unrealistic they may be, if you're not meeting someone that meets your standards and is compatible, emotionally stable, emotionally mature, can provide you or work with you to provide the lifestyle that you want to live. If you're not going to get all of that, what are you complaining about?
What
Just
right.
being single? Because if you're concerned about what you're getting, it wouldn't be, I'm mad, I'm single. It's, there's no options. Y'all
And that
about the
means,
wrong shit.
but that could also mean that you need to expand your options because
Yes.
y'all be having these preferences. It's got to be 6 foot, got to make 70K or more, has to have their own house, paid off, car. It has to be a certain type
paid
of
off
car.
maybe a little far-fetched, but
yeah, that's true. That might be.
I mean, the financial things as a woman in her 30s are very much important.
Yeah.
Dating in my 20s, I was not concerned about it. But baby, I'm in my career. What are we doing? If I'm in my career and you're my age or older and you still trying to figure it the fuck out, which is fine. It's fine if you're still trying to figure it the fuck out, right? But for you to not have it figured out and to be struggling where you can't take care of yourself,
you don't need to be dating.
like, that's scary. If I was a single woman dating with the intention of being married, I'm still waiting for the conversations in our age group to shift. Because the men our age are still complaining about how much women want to go to fancy restaurants and spend lots of money. Baby, do you have a 401k?
Can we talk about it?
What are your plans for retirement? What are your 5-year, 10-year, 15-year goals? What's your credit score?
And if you don't have the answers, like at this very moment, like at least be able to get them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have. If you don't even know what a 401k is, come on. You know what I'm saying?
In your 30s, no,
like,
incompatible. And then
incompatible.
it's like when women be finding out these men are incompatible, be like, damn, I'm so sad. Why? It didn't work out. It didn't work out because he's not compatible with you.
And that's okay.
You was complaining about how he got 35 baby mamas and he don't got nowhere to lay his head at night except for his mama's house or all his baby mamas. What are you complaining about?
What's the issue?
They're like, well, Lord, I see what you've done for other people. Motherfucker, if you don't get the fuck up off your knees, bitch, you don't know what the fuck going on in their house.
You don't know.
You wishing for the relationship they have in the public, but do you know what the fuck they got in private?
And even if
you over here crying after shit you don't know nothing the fuck about, because I don't want to be single. Shut the fuck up, please. I'm sorry.
And even it's fine. Even if, let's say, you see those stellar Instagram relationships and they are great behind closed doors, you don't know the work that it took both of them to do with each other, for each other, but without the other person to be good. You might not be up to that challenge, sis, sir.
Right. That is their lot in life. Stop pining after what is not yours.
Hello.
Like, people can be like, oh, you guys y'all are so cute. Yes, we are.
Thank you.
But like, besides our relationship issues, which is just, communicating, which is normal, and me, I grew up in trauma. My wife grew up on love. Wow. If you, bro, the issues that has caused, we understand a lot of shit, but that we do not.
There's gonna be some point that there's some points of disconnection, but we'll continue.
Right. No, because you're marrying that person, but you're marrying their trauma.
Yeah.
You're marrying their foundation. You're marrying everything their family instilled into them. Good, bad, or indifferent.
And however it shows up is how it shows up.
Right. But we lost a lot of family members in a very short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And very close family members.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all wouldn't be walking the fuck around right now.
Yeah.
Not only are we upright, we still locked in. So, like, you be pining after stuff. It's like, do you really want that? Can you handle that?
That's the part.
What is yours? Okay. And that's all I got to say about it. Let's
Yes.
move on. Next question.
Let's continue.
How have your views on marriage changed? I'll go first.
Yeah.
I knew men were insufferable, but the developments and the communities built through social media and the fact that I just study sociology and this always interests me, but to just absorb different people's stories and couple that with the actual data of just paper, like what's happening, cut and dry. I could never be married to a cis het man. And even if he went to therapy, even if he was in tune with his emotions and could articulate, the conditioning that goes with being a cis het man, even if you are the most considerate man, it is going to rear its ugly head, and I cannot do it. I am not built for it. And I think marriage should just not really be a thing everyone should have to do. I really think marriage should be like few and far between. Because not only do people not understand the emotional part of the relationship of marriage, they don't understand the business part. Y'all think y'all go on and sign that marriage license, and the marriage license go, oh, we signed our vows. No, you're a business now. That's why divorce is so hard, because you're dividing a business. To the American government, you are an entity. One entity, one unit. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all think it's, oh, I love him. He loves me.
No.
What Tina said?
What's love got to do with it?
Because, baby, especially now being a divorce attorney, baby, I'm going to give me a sign in my office. What's love got to do with it? Because it ain't got shit to do with this.
It doesn't.
I feel like if you really, and people, I might get dragged, but if you really don't want to be in the business of marriage, have a long-term relationship and never get married. And I'll say it further, especially if y'all ain't got much, there's really no benefit. Having kids will get you a better tax benefit.
Especially if you don't have kids.
Not to contribute to that, but
especially if there's no kids, you don't plan for kids, you don't want kids, especially that.
Or if you're young and not sickly. Because I will say, yes, if you're together and one of y'all has health issues and you want to actually be considered family, get married. But if y'all 20-something healthy, y'all ain't got no kids, y'all ain't got no assets, what are y'all merging for? Marriage is a merger. What are y'all merging?
It's a merger.
Because you love, right? Because you love. Have a party, an anniversary party or something. Yeah, take some pictures and do a photo shoot.
A commitment ceremony.
Something. Why? I mean, people want to do it, but like, and I get it's a societal thing. It's a societal thing. And I was even talking about this in one of the discords I'm in for my other social media friends. And I'm like, thinking back to Catholic school, getting married is a sacrament. You get baptized, you have first communion, you get married, you have kids. But that's not for everybody. And we really got to start thinking about choosing things that serve us. Did my speaker just die?
I don't know. I can hear you.
The thing is, I can't hear you. Oh, it's dying. if I don't have the speaker.
Mm.
If I have another cord in here to charge it. But yeah, no, like we gotta reflect and stop just doing shit because I think I'm supposed to. Think about that shit before you do it.
Think
Oh, my
about it.
speaker in the way.
We need
Well,
pause.
your views on the marriage changed.
So I think my marriage views have probably changed the most. And I've now probably defined it. I think before I was like anti-marriage, period. I've now shifted to the desire of a platonic marriage. So have I seen it before? No. Do I think it could work? Yes. Because again, the love I feel for my friends and those who I'm not romantically involved with, to me, has led me to have just so much joy and just excitement on those things. So while Coco is fixing herself up, my thought on a platonic marriage would honestly, truthfully be, you're someone who's a friend and, you like them as a person. You're not necessarily, aiming for a romantic involvement, things like that. But you align, on moral ideas, financially, mentally, you're aligned, and you both desire probably kids or a certain lifestyle of sorts. So you marry that person. Now, sexual compatibility is not part of the conversation. Emotional compatibility is not part of the conversation because you're not romantically involved. So there's now not those conversations. Oh, we're back in action.
Period.
So there's now not those conversations that you would normally have as a romantic partner because you guys are platonic. So the compatibility sexually, the compatibility emotionally, while it might come into play if you guys have children, probably wouldn't come into play any other time. And you would just be married based off of that. You're not looking for the love of your life. You're looking for someone who at the core you're compatible with, which is probably giving like arranged marriage. Now, could you end up falling in love with them and head over heels? Sure, you could. But the pressure of that being the leading point of getting married is not where I'm at personally. So I have shifted from I don't really think I want to be married at all to I would be okay with a platonic marriage, but I just can't get jiggy with this notion that I'm going to meet the love of my life and fall madly in love. Like, I think that fairy tale idea doesn't exist. And I'm not saying that you can't have deep love and admiration for somebody, because I do believe that exists and it exists in many spaces. I think the problem is we're conditioned with media and, these Disney fairy tales to say that's the only way that you'll know you're supposed to be married if you feel these butterflies. The whole time it's your intuition telling you this guy's a scrub. So it's like, what, I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? So you have to then figure out what it is. So that's probably my biggest shift in all of this, is that I went from not really desiring marriage at all to desiring a marriage where I'm not necessarily with someone that's like the love of my life, but I like them. I like being around them. I like spending time with them. And, I want to build a life with them. And, I'm sure, building within one entity of a company is a lot easier than building separately with two companies that have not merged with the same ideas. So that's my big shift.
You know me, girl. I love the idea of platonic marriage. I love it. I don't think I don't think love should be a defining factor in whether you get married. I
I
think it needs to, if
don't.
that's
And
going to be a part of it,
people
like,
lead with it. That's the problem. People lead with it. Men lead with it. They like to say they're not emotional creatures, but I feel like they're the most emotional ones to ever walk this planet. Like, they love to say, oh, I just didn't feel it for her. Oh, you weren't in love with her? You didn't get butterflies?
no.
You shouldn't make your heart flutter? Nah, it just
Oh,
didn't work out. You loves her.
oh my God. I can't. Ugh, let's get
And
into this.
society won't let you admit it.
How have your views on divorce changed? I think I'm interested because, like, you're a child of divorcees.
Uh,
So, like, what was your original position?
I don't think mine has changed, honestly. Because I don't think my parents should have got married in the first place.
Damn.
So them
Damn.
two had nothing in common except for they thought the other person was fine.
Oh
Like,
my
they're like,
God.
"Oh, she fine. Oh, she got a big butt. Oh, he's handsome." Like, I mean, lucky for me, that helped. But aside from that,
Mhm.
I don't think my views on divorce have changed. I think if anything, they've probably been more reinforced. You do one thing, I tell you to get Frito Lays and you get some Cheetos. Where's my lawyer? Where's my lawyer? We're signing the papers. We're signing because you don't respect me. Who asked for Cheetos? Who's the bitch who asked for Cheetos? Because it wasn't me. You feel me? So
Must have been
that
the other
means
bitch
you
you was
don't
talking
respect me.
to. Shit.
The first sign of stupidity or disrespect is done. I'm probably
Listen,
the
and I told y'all last week, that's my toxic trait. Anything, and that's what I'll be babbling sometimes in my marriage, bro. I'll be like, if I feel too uncomfortable, time to go.
check out. I'm
But
done.
with men in my single life, you do one fucking thing, you will never hear from me again. You
Ever.
won't even know what the fuck you did. You will just know, like, damn, I never heard about it, and won't.
And won't and don't.
I will listen. We've talked about. I have taken men places and left them ass right there. You find your own way home. I'm done.
And won't and don't.
Like, I'm
Because
not. You ain't gotta worry about me. You do
you don't
not
gotta
have to
worry
worry
about
about me.
me. The thing
I'll be out
is,
here. I'll be out.
I'm only gonna give you one chance to show me who you are. Like, I know people like, oh, well, it's different. You're in a marriage, and people could act dumb. Oh, he didn't used to be
Just
like
like you went down the courthouse and filed your marriage license, you can go down the courthouse and file your divorce petition.
Oh, he didn't used to do this. He used to treat me differently. Oh, that means I need to go take this pen and treat this paper differently and get a new paper that says divorce instead of marriage. Like, you want to act different, I'm gonna act ridiculous. Like, listen, first of all, I'm definitely getting a prenup. He doesn't want a prenup. We're divorcing before we even get married. Because why you tripping off me?
Why?
Like, I'm
Like, because
definitely,
like a side eye, because shouldn't you want to protect your assets too? Because the
unless you don't
prenup
have
is not for one person, it's for both of y'all. So what
unless you just don't have none, then that sucks.
then why are we getting married? Because we're having this conversation in the context of we in our early to mid 30s. The next stop, 35, choo-choo. Next stop, 40. I'm not playing with you niggas.
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm not
Why
playing
don't
with
you
you
have
niggas.
assets? At least your car should be paid off. Something.
At least
Something.
something. You've had what? Well, if they're the same age as us, 15 years as an adult. 15 years as an adult, and you don't have nothing to show for it. You don't need to be there, but you don't got nothing to show for it. You ain't go to, you didn't do undergrad, you didn't do a trade school, you ain't did no apprenticeships, you ain't did no Peace Corps, you didn't do no Job Corps, you didn't do nothing, and you want to marry me?
How am I going to explain
because you
that?
love me? Get the fucking face.
That's wild. So my views, well, I guess that's the case. My views have changed. I am not afraid. If this doesn't work, I'm out. Kids or not, I'm out. Bye. Especially kids. Especially kids, because I refuse to have my.
Please, for the love of God, stop staying together for the kids. The kids are being traumatized.
They are being traumatized.
Break the fuck up. Move the fuck on. Co-parent.
Figure that out. Figure that out. Because I refuse to have my child see that. Because they will see that. And then someone else, I think you said this last time, relationships are a seesaw. If you see it when you're dating, you can say that you saw it as well when you're married or down the line. So it's not like it never existed. And that's one thing that I've been big on. If you know that your partner drinks, maybe they just have one beer every night after work. If you see them do that, they have the capability to be an alcoholic. That's not out of the realm of possibility. So you have to know what you're okay with. You have to know what your line is. That you're like, okay, I can't deal with this and I won't deal with this. You know, you just got to know. You might not know up front, but when it happens, you got to know that's your line.
I feel like my answer is a little different because I am married. So I feel like over the last few years, divorce has become an option where before it's not an option. But the reason why divorce is an option is because I'm choosing to stay in my marriage. And that I think I learned making divorce not an option puts you in a mindset of like trapped. But if I can leave at any time and I'm okay with the feelings and the transition that goes along with that, yet I'm choosing to stay here, I'm going to focus on staying instead of focusing on how I'm trapped and I can't get out. So I'm okay with the idea of divorce, but I still don't want that for myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like abortion. You know, women have the right to do whatever the fuck they want. And I don't know if we need to have an in-depth conversation about Roe versus Wade, but you could never abort a viable fetus. And I know that's a big word for Elmo. Elmo is y'all. Viable means if that woman went into labor and had to give birth, could that fetus live outside of the womb on its own? If the fetus could live outside of the womb by itself, you can't have an abortion. So where y'all are going around saying killing babies, what are you talking about? The cluster of cells that don't have fucking lungs to breathe yet?
They even got eyeballs. They even got eyeballs.
Right. It's not even you would not recognize it as a baby. Because it's not a baby.
It's literally nothing.
We're not talking about that now. Anywho, how have your views on parenting changed? I'll go first.
Yeah, go.
We gonna definitely get into depth with this, but I realize just as y'all don't think about getting married too deeply, you really don't think about having kids. There's about like 0.5% of the population that's reproducing actually thinking about the people they're about to bring into this world. Y'all motherfuckers be fucking and having kids and don't know what the fuck to do and don't ask nobody for directions. And then, yeah, no, my views on parenthood has gone down. I will also say one big view that has changed, which might be a little controversial. And I said it to you, and I was like, that's kind of mean to say, but it needs to be said out loud. I want my fertility issue girlies to exit the chat. Exit the chat. This is not about y'all right now. Don't get mixed up in the general population. You being able to get pregnant and have a baby does not make you special. Just like you got laid down and had that physical interaction, your body did what it did. You breathing isn't special. Is it pressure? Yes. You blinking is nothing special. You getting pregnant, outside of people that have issues getting pregnant naturally, your body working as it's supposed to quote unquote function does not make you special. You being a mother that does not make you special. If you couldn't tell, everyone around this bitch got a mama.
Sorry to break it to
Yes,
you.
you should be respected if you're parenting. Y'all don't understand having a child and being a parent are two different things.
Two different things.
Y'all think physically having kids that have your DNA makes you a parent and that makes you special. You are not special. Y'all was fucking and y'all got pregnant and y'all didn't get the abortion, or you didn't miscarry, or you didn't put me up for adoption.
That's it.
You're not special. What sets you apart is how do you treat this human you just created? Because y'all want babies, but y'all don't want people. And y'all's babies only are babies for a year and a half out of their entire life.
That's it.
Y'all
This
don't want to have kids.
idolization.
Y'all want to have gender reveal parties, baby showers, presents, a sip and see. But when that living, breathing thing starts talking back and they need to be educated and taught how to read and taught to have manners, where y'all at?
Honestly, the
Y'all don't think about it
idolization
before you do it.
and glamorization. No, you're good. The idolization and glamorization of motherhood is insane. It's insane. And part of me doesn't want to do it because I don't want to be part of it. Like, it's honestly, it's so cringy. It's so cringy. Like let me just
culture sometimes is just too much.
It's too much. Let me just have the baby. And actually, culturally,
let me ask you a side question. Let me ask you it really quietly though, really quietly, because they may not like this question.
Right.
Do you think the reason why women go so hard about being mothers is because that's the only place they're ever given accolades? Because we were really not career oriented, and then we have the men at home that really they suck at life. So like really, the only time they get focused on is like your kid brings you home some macaroni art, or like Mother's Day, or like the pageant. They're like, I love my mommy because she makes chocolate chip cookies. Is having children the only way women get recognized in society at large? Is that what we're doing with ourselves? Like you at the PTA being cliquey, like you're a fucking 14-year-old in high school. Is this the highlight of your week? Is this all you got going on?
I think that's it.
You don't got nothing to look forward to. You ain't got no interest. You ain't got no friends. You just got your kids, and whatever happens with them, it's like, ooh, I get to be the center of attention. Someone's, you know what? Let's not have this conversation no more. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I went too far.
So I think It's fine. I think it's very interesting because we recently got a new CEO. And it's our first woman. It's the 10th CEO, but the first woman in the company to be CEO.
Period.
And
The fact that
so
it's 2024 and that's still happening is wild.
insane.
Mm.
So she went on, this is her first, company organization where she's speaking as CEO, and she brings up her children, which I see no problem with doing because it related to what she was talking about. But I will say I never saw my last CEO's kids. I don't even know if he has kids.
Damn.
So, I mean,
What is
maybe.
with men not acknowledging?
I mean, he might, he
What the
might have.
fuck?
Maybe he, when he first got into the organization, started off like, I'm, this is this child and they're interested in this and da 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 da. But I'm saying like the weight of parenthood is subsequently put onto women, regardless of what role they're in. We see so many people, men and women, talk about, oh, that baby only acting out because it's a single mother. They wouldn't be a single mother if the father was there. They, like, can we shift the focus? So my view in and of itself on parenthood, I think the change that has probably happened is I'm more okay with being a single mother intentionally, like an intentional single mother. So this year, I want to look into my benefits, freeze my eggs, because let's be honest, mid to
Please,
early,
if you have the finances and you're in your 30s, freeze your eggs.
a lot of companies
The
help.
embryos.
Yes. Well, I don't have no one to make an embryo with, but that's
Well, I
even better.
mean, well, apparently there's like, isn't there like some app? Maybe someone was joking where you could just like swipe and find your. Well, were you telling me that? Were you swiping
No,
find your
I was
sperm donor?
I was telling you
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You
Yeah.
know,
So this is like my tier. This is like my tier of things because either way, I'm freezing my eggs. Best case scenario is I find my person, my soulmate, doing backflips, cartwheels. We go together real bad. We're married. We have a family. Cool. The next step down from that would be, I'm in a really solid co-parenting situation with a platonic partner, whatever, and that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? The third best here is that, maybe I'm married later on and I need, then we get married, maybe I'm 40, 45, but I still have my eggs, so we can get a surrogate and I can still have, a child that is representative of myself and my partner. Then the fourth tier down is, you know what, I'm tired of waiting. I'm going to just bust something out by about 30, 34, 35 and just make it do what it
girl,
do.
that's right around the corner.
It is, or that's why I got to freeze
Ooh,
them now.
I'm
So, you
too
know what
young
I'm
to
saying?
be a teen parent. I don't know how y'all was out here having babies. Like, ugh.
That shit was wild. Y'all are basically infants when you were 16 having kids, which is a whole nother story. So that's my first view that has changed. My second one, which I'm not even sure that it's changed, but I had to address it because it's something that's really grinded my gears for a while. For all
Put
of
it out,
y'all
friend.
for all of y'all who want to shout from the mountaintops that just because you're not X, you can't give advice on X, shut up. Shut up. Because as you said, oh, well, you're not a parent, you're not a mom, you can't give advice on how to be a mother. Just because you laid down and had a child does not mean you are qualified to give advice on being a mother. There's no qualifier that would eliminate me from giving you advice on being a bad parent. Because if you are being a bad parent, I hate to break it to you, I hope it don't sound ridiculous, that means you're not a good person. Because parenting is peopling. parenting
At all times.
at all times. Parenting is raising, funding, supporting a person. You guys do not want the responsibility. So rather than take accountability when you don't do it well from someone who notices you don't do it well, you want to deflect and gaslight because they are not parents. You go to doctors who have gone to medical school for 10, 15 years if there's a specialization. But somehow, when we have any sort of discourse or whatever, you want to use medical remedies or natural remedies for these things. And then you end up sicker than you were before. But your doctor said this. Oh, well, I don't, da 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 da. Okay, fine, whatever. So, and this isn't to say that you should take advice from anybody. I'm saying as a trusted individual in your life, just because I do not have children, just because I'm not in a relationship, does not disqualify me from you taking information that I say that could help you in both of those areas, because both of those areas involve people. Both of those areas.
I'll also add to your it's peopling all the time. And like, well, you don't have any experience, so you can't tell me. And it's like, do people think there's a difference between like a child and an adult in the sense that like everything adults do is because they mirrored it from childhood? So like maybe I'm not giving you parenting advice. Maybe I'm giving you advice on how to be a better person to another person.
And 9 times
Maybe
out of 10,
maybe how you're talking to them, like you're crazy and there's some hoe off the street when you wouldn't talk to another 30-year-old like that.
You wouldn't.
Is it really different? Other than you produce them.
That's
we talk about don't hit your kids. And y'all be like, well, you're not a parent. You don't know. I don't know that when I'm mad, I don't assault people.
That's a great example. And that's the thing about it. It's the fact that they can't. Oh, well, you haven't been through this. I'm saying none of us will go through it. Even the other moms that you're asking aren't going through it because they don't have your child. Any advice that I would give anyone through an experience that I haven't experienced isn't directly related to the experience anyway. It's probably going to be me talking to you as the person. But even in this state, you are an attorney. I don't know anything about being an attorney, but I know if you're a bad employee because I work at a job. You coming in late, you missing deadlines, you not submitting reports or documentation at the time that your manager asked you to, I can say, hey, you not, doing the best at your job. Oh, well, you're not an attorney, so you can't tell me.
I didn't tell you how to draft shit. I just told you might want to tighten the fuck up.
You might want to get it together. So in the same way, I'm not giving you legal advice because I'm not qualified to do that. All I'm saying is I've been in the same shoes as someone who's had a job. All of the jobs are pretty baseline. Do it or don't. So that same thing applies to being in a relationship or being a parent. You either it's done in a way that it's clearly productive and efficient, or it's not. For example, there was a tweet that I saw, and it was saying, this child had written a note to one of the girls in their class after Valentine's Day because she didn't say I like you back. And basically this little boy was writing a note and it was really mean-spirited, very nasty. And the mother was putting it on the internet like, oh yeah, he read her down for filth, like gassing it up. Rather than saying, when a woman rejects you, it's okay. Why are we not teach that? You know what I'm saying? So if I were to say, hey sis, like maybe a better way to have done this would be, he can handle rejection a different type of way so that when he's 30 years old. He's not over here trying to shoot women who don't want to give him their number. But I could 9 times out of 10 guess if I had said something like that, like, well, are you a mom? You can't teach me how to raise my child, especially my son. No, but I'm trying not to raise, like, you know, murderers and rapists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, you know, so that's my biggest view on parenthood that maybe hasn't changed, but it's very unpopular. You guys need to take yourselves out of it and realize that as a parent, you're a person raising another person. That's it. You're a person peopling.
How have your views on single motherhood changed?
I would probably be a single mother if I get to do it on my terms.
I don't think my views have changed.
I don't think mine have either. And honestly, the way these ning-nogs is running the streets,
look,
don't look like the worst option.
Shit.
It don't look like the worst option.
Some of y'all need to either put him on child support or have him sign over his rights and just go with God and leave it be, because it's not worth the dream.
It's not worth it.
It's not. Okay. How have your views on parenting style / parenting environment changed? I will say probably I have like a general like understanding of different parenting styles. Like, I think that's a fairly new conversation we're having in society about like, how do you parent? So I think, I don't know. I don't think that my ideas of how I want to parent have changed. If anything, I've moved like more towards I want to be like child informed parenting. Like, yes, I want to have what kind of parent that I want to be, but like, I don't know who I'm finna get. So kind of shouldn't think too hard about things that may just not ever be utilized. So, I mean, obviously, gentle parenting. Gentle parenting is not permissive parenting. Gentle parenting is talking to your children about why behavior has certain consequences and having patience and treating them like human beings, valuing their opinion and listening to it, not snapping at them, you know, regular. Well, it's not even regular shit like that. I definitely, I don't know. I think I'm gonna be like a combination of like a strict but like not strict mom. Like, we're in school, we have requirements. However, like, girl, we trying to dye our hair this weekend? Are we going to Sephora? What's happening?
You know, yeah.
Well, we have priorities, but like everything's not serious.
No, everything's not serious. I think I definitely want, and this is like also too, like why I feel like I'm not pressed and people who are younger don't need to be as pressed to have kids early, is the life that I want for my kids. I don't need a lot of money. So
yeah.
we were talking,
private schools is not cheap.
It's not cheap. We were talking about this the other day, that like, can we be part-time parents? Not part-time as in like,
I'll be a full-time mom, but like I don't gotta wash clothes and make food or nothing. That does not make me a mom.
Like I don't have to be all things all the time. Like I will pick up, drop off, help with homework, bath time, nighttime, all that stuff. But at 7 o'clock, so-and-so's coming over to take over the night shift. She'll do 7P to 7A. And anything you need at night, you talk to them. Because I'm getting my full night's rest. She'll start prepping lunches while I'm doing homework, and I will get them in the bed.
And we will gotta come earlier than that, because 7 o'clock your damn bedtime. Go to sleep. The fuck you up all hours of the night for? What you got?
And
Ain't nothing going on that you need to know about. Go to sleep.
nothing. So I feel like the responsibilities of motherhood will be shifted. Now, I have had comments from men where that was not desirable, and I
The
don't
fuck?
give a I
Sorry.
don't give a fuck. You don't want to be up with your child? No, I want to go to sleep, just like
For
you want to go to
what?
sleep.
If I have the money to not be and they're gonna get taken care of, why do I have to do it?
Why do I have to do it? There's really no reason why I have to do it. I'm not. Listen, I'll change a diaper
It's
if I have
really
to.
like if I don't have to do these little things that are so tedious and mundane and wear women down, and I could be actually fully cognizant, like fully conscious and engaging with my children, I think that will be best for my children. I don't know what the problem is.
I'm saying, get them up.
I don't
You
need to
know,
make their lunch to be a good mom. I don't need to give them a bath to be a good mom. I don't need to drop them off every single day at school to be a good mom. Well, my
I
child
don't
comes to
need
me and they want to play a fun game or they want me to read to them to go to sleep, I'll have the mental capacity to do so.
to do that.
It
And it's
takes a
also
village, and since the village ain't villaging like it should be villaging, we don't have to pay the village.
we're
So
just gonna have to pay. And I really want women to be okay, especially in the society that we're in now. America is not conducive for people with children. Let's be honest. We don't got parks. We don't have a lot of outdoor activities. So you have to create them, and it's gonna take money. It's gonna take time, and a lot of people don't have it. That's why these other countries are really kind of moving things up, because it's just like you guys give women a year off after they have children to not only heal physically, but emotionally be able to have the capacity to not think that 6 weeks later I have to go back to work. Like
that's
12 weeks is not enough. It's not enough. And y'all want us to have more kids? Get the fuck out of here. It's not enough.
I know.
So
You know what I
yeah.
found out about that?
What?
We could totes go down to Washington, D.C. and lobby for this because I found out, which, I never had to use maternity leave. I don't know what the fuck that is. So I found
Yeah.
out on TikTok that basically the only way for you to get maternity leave at your job is for you to have signed up for short-term disability when you were hired.
Mm-hmm.
So companies don't pay you. Temporary disability pays you. So that's why we have the requirements that we have. The government's not paying for more than 12 weeks. But if you didn't sign up, you can get the time off from your employer. The employer side is they approve the time off, but you get paid from disability. But if you don't have the disability, you get the time off and you don't get paid.
But what if I'm really disabled later and I've used my disability to have a baby?
That's long-term disability. If like you actually are disabled and can't work.
Oh.
Yeah, so we might want to go march down, next month's Women's Month. So we can, take our Women's March to be like, look, we need a year of paid maternity leave. Everybody in this bitch.
That's
So yeah,
wild.
a little tidbit. Because I was like, wait. Then I was like, because I think it was explicit in when I changed over jobs, but I didn't like connect the dots until I saw that TikTok. And I was like, they did say that when you take maternity leave, you'll get short-term disability. But I don't think most employers tell you that.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, we gotta put some march together. We ain't doing enough around this
Yeah,
bitch.
we gotta,
I'll
yeah.
also say I have come. I think we've come closer to like a communal living situation.
Yeah.
Like, even if like the maids aren't an option, if we all like all the people that have already said they wanted to come and buy some land and just build on it and just live there and like give it to our kids. If there's like 8 adults and we have a community living space, we could just rotate the parenting schedule.
We could. All right, you got
Someone
Mondays,
is in
Wednesdays,
charge of
Fridays.
drop-offs, someone's in
Right.
charge of breakfast, someone's in charge of after-school homework. Like, either way, I'm not going to be stressed the fuck out having some kids. It's just not. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to be stressed out having kids. It's not going to happen. Will I be stressed anyway? Yes, I have anxiety, but like not stressed of like, oh my god, I gotta make like the 30th fucking peanut butter and jelly this week, and my kids keep fucking asking me dumbass questions, and this iPad keeps. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no.
I'd rather just not have kids if it's gonna be all that. So if I don't have the money to be the mom that I want to be, I'm not doing it.
I'm not. No.
And like I can't give my kids worse than I had.
Can't do that.
I mean,
what was the point?
Financially, I was provided for. The other stuff, but money was not a thing. Even though I was raised by a single mother, like no. I went to private school. Why would my kids not go to private school? Unless there's like some really good like non-private school that like has like an academic track that I can't get at another school.
Right.
Why would I not have my children in the best preschools? I was in private preschool. What's not clicking? So if I have to give them better than I had, I got some shit to do. So
I gotta make it pop.
So I don't know. Like, okay.
Is the last question?
Okay.
Okay.
What's one belief that you currently have that you didn't expect with marriage and children? And or yes.
Probably that I would aspire for marriage at all. Even though the marriage construct itself has changed, for the longest, I was like, I don't even want to be married.
Yeah, I think for me, it might have to be like you having a baby does not make you special. I'll leave it at that. I'll write about that some other time. I might go take this shit to TikTok. Y'all might want to get mad at me. All right, final question. Rotisserie back to the how does it feel to be single and or childless in your early 30s? I would say for me, it feels fucking great.
So amazing. Especially
oh my God.
Dink.
What?
You're a dink. Double income, no kid.
Listen, not even that. It's just the older I get, and I'm glad, like the younger me who didn't even have a thought process about what 30s were. Thank God to her for getting on birth control, because goddamn, woo!
That part.
But the older I get, the more I appreciate the responsibility of romantic relationships and parenting. Like, in both of those things, you are dealing with living, breathing human beings that have their own thoughts, feelings, emotions, perspectives, opinions. And it takes a lot to live in harmony because you have to constantly communicate. Yeah. And then to like have to do that with a blank canvas, because children are blank canvases.
You don't know what you're going to end up with.
Like, not even what you're going to end up with, but you have to teach them everything.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was trying to explain to Kiana, like, it was a conversation. I was like, I'm just a miserable person. I had asked her because she's like, I don't get it. Like, why, why, why is my trauma response essentially? And
Yeah.
I was like, who taught you how to tie your shoes? And she was like, what? I was like, who taught you how to tie your shoes? She was like, my parents. I was like, okay. Who taught you how to brush your teeth? My parents. Have you changed how you brush your teeth since you learned? It's the same thing with children, but with everything. Like there was like, even if you like, I think parenting is one of the hardest jobs because whether or not you accept the responsibility or do it well, you always have the responsibility of forming this child and their foundation. So whether you're active or inactive, and that I mean actively parenting or not actively parenting, meaning you're absentee, you're still sending messages to your child, and that is still going to be a part of how they are raised. And
am I frozen?
I don't. Yeah, you are frozen.
Oh, you're frozen for me too.
Oh damn, you're frozen on the YouTube though. Oh, she gone.
Damn. I can hear you.
Okay, maybe it's your turn for your camera to mess up.
I know, right?
But no, it's just you're still frozen.
I'm a leave it come.
It's just a lot. I feel like the older I get, the more I understand the responsibility of it all. And being a parent is not just having kids, it's about raising adults. How you choose to interact with your child, the lessons you choose to instill in them, your reactions to their emotions, your reactions to their thoughts they share with you, all contribute to how your child will experience the world. And my goal, at least, is to not have children that have to therapize because of me. And they do, I mean, they do, but to not have to raise children that don't have to recover from their childhood. I know there are plenty of things that, you know, parents don't have control over. Even if you do everything perfectly and nothing ever goes astray in your relationship with your children, they can still experience things from other people that will deeply affect them. And I just consider my children. I don't know who they is. I don't know when they come in, but I want them to have the best chance, and I don't want them to be property until they're 18 and then I unleash them in the world and think that they should have all the tools that I didn't teach them, because that's whack. And so not only am I waiting financially, I'm waiting emotionally and mentally because, woo, there's no rush. I
There really
think
isn't. Once you're
I
a,
told you
a
like
parent, once you're a
I
parent,
was
you're
like,
always a
well, I was trying to say, I told you last week, I'm like, I think we're gonna be the 50-year-olds with a first grader because,
parent. That is right.
woo,
And that's not even the worst thing. So
it's not.
it's not the
I used
worst
to,
thing.
as a kid, some people was like, oh yeah, my parents are 60. Girl, what? Now I'm like, you know what? Y'all the ones that had the actual privilege of actually being children that were
Yes.
raised. I think the older your parents were when they had their first child, and that's probably why my wife was raised in love. Her mom didn't have her until I think like 34, 35.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Her daddy like 13 years older.
Oh, wow.
So it's like the mental whoo, listen, the frontal
Yeah,
lobe being developed and seasoned, listen, unmatched. How
unmatched.
does it feel, girl? How's it feel?
No, it feels good. It feels good. Kind of the same as I let in with. I've never been one who was attached to the idea of children. It was one of those things for me. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I am a little bit more intentional on if I change my mind, and it might, then I have a plan. But I'm chilling. Honestly, the 30s are like just your 20s with more money. So I am really okay with sleeping in.
Listen,
The
that's the
worst
thing too. Like,
I
them
get
motherfuckers gonna
is,
be up.
my dog and my covers like, oh my God, it's 8:05 and I don't have breakfast. Loki should be asleep with me, like knocked out.
My
So
son is always sleeping with me. I have to get him out of the bed, be like, good morning. Do you want to
right,
get out the bed and eat food?
right,
And he'll be like, and I have to pick him up because I'm like, get up.
right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, some of these kids be up at like 6 a.m. because
Listen, full of
I
energy.
ready to go. I will talk to my child every day. Like, listen, you're not doing that early shit. You better be at
And see,
least
that's
sleep. For,
a perfect thing for the nanny to handle.
yeah, yeah.
I'm going back to sleep. I'm not
I'm
doing
going
this.
back to bed. I'm going
But
back to
yeah,
bed.
no.
Yeah, no. But I think that's probably my biggest thing is I was like not anti, but I was anti without a plan. So at least if I'm like, then it is what it is. But if I walk up later, I have some options. Ooh, sorry. Let's wrap this thing up.
Girl, let's go
Right.
ahead. We're over here doing too much.
I know.
Welcome to the section of the video where we encourage y'all, but also smack y'all asses in the face with fucking reality, even though we did that the entire episode. But it's going to be a little bit more direct. So what you got? What's the soul food you got for the girls? And what's the be fucking for real you got for the girls?
So the soul food I would say is you only have one life to live. Live the life that works for you. There's no time clock, there's no stopwatch on your life. Do what works best for you and your life and the people around you. And it's okay. Don't let society define what works for you. You make it work for you. That is my soul food. Now, the be fucking for real, to tag onto that, is with those things you want in life, they will probably come with work, whether it is motherhood, whether it is being a wife, being a husband, being a father. They do not just happen organically because the actual act happened. Get yourself together. Be willing to learn. Be willing to adapt. Be willing to change. Because it's going to happen. And be okay with others supporting you and helping you who may not have faced the exact same situation you have. Because at the end of the day, these are all people. You're peopling with people. Yes.
Period. I would say my soul food is just be gentle and kind with yourself and others. We're all humans floating on this dumbass rock in the middle of fucking nothing. So I mean, like, honestly, none of this shit matters, but be kind. My be fucking for real. I had it, but I lost it. Damn. Sucks. I think I'm gonna say something like be kind to yourself. But also take accountability for yourself and your bullshit. Just because you had reasons for doing something or thinking something or blah 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 doesn't mean that it's justified. So take responsibility. I'm looking at you, Monique. Anywho, that's it for this week.
All right. Well, peace, love, all the above. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to all of our social medias at Seattlite in the South on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And next week, we'll be back with another episode.
Period. I forgot what it was, but it's probably going to be somewhere I yell at y'all again. So y'all got 7 days to recover. You'll be fine.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Bye.